Okay, we are getting ready to have a presentation. Welcome. Go back. Welcome to LF Biz Consulting. I'm Lon Feniel, and I'd just like to share with you that I am on a new mission. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. And I want you to hear it in my own voice. And I wanted you to understand the mission and possibly how you could play a role. It is going to happen 100% sure. So, let me give you a little bit about my background. I actually, at age 13, knew that before my time was up, I was going to go to combat. And so I began training for that eventuality. A lot of people around me at the time, because I grew up in the South. I was born in 1960. And so if you've seen all the stuff that has been all over the news and everything in the United States with racial tensions and all of that, I'm an African American. I grew up with obstacles all of my life, and somehow was able to mine my way through it and come out on top on multiple occasions. In 1983, I went on active duty as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps as an infantry officer. While there, my first year, I found out that my young wife came up with a terminal illness. And I found out at age 23 that my wife could outlive me, or she could die in 24 hours. At the beginning of the roughest, toughest training that anyone could ever possibly imagine going through as a Marine officer at the basic school. I made it through. Went on to become a captain when she died, and it was literally in 24 hours. My son at that time was 10, and I had a decision to make. And I made a decision that my family was more important than my career. I felt like I could always rebuild, redo. But in an effort to try to fight for my career, I did some things out of the box, but allowed me to accomplish the goal of having my son to graduate college. And this year, he just retired. He and his wife, lieutenant colonels in the Army. So I gave up my goal to become that so that he would have an opportunity, because that was a promise that I made his mother. And I'm big on my promises. And so, what I found out or felt at age 13 ended up happening. And I went to Desert Storm and did some things that some people would call heroic. I did my job. the most proudest thing I'm proud of was taking men and women into combat for the first time during that time, uh, and bringing them all back home alive, safe to their families. Now, after Desert Storm, I got out and I began a long journey of retraining, retooling, rebuilding myself, and I became a professional salesperson. Now, this was something that I used to have disdain for when I was on active duty, because I saw things that people picked up negative connotations from, people that you always saw and heard the negative stories. Well, I learned from Tom Hopkins boot camp, because I learned from the Marine Corps, if you want to be the best, you got to first identify who the best is at doing it, and then you need to mirror what they did. And so I spent about $5,000 at that transition time to go to training from the top leaders in the time: Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy, Og Mandino, Tom Hopkins. And Tom Hopkins was the first one, and I learned what a professional salesperson was. I learned that a professional salesperson is a person that learns professional sales skills on how to communicate effectively, to find out what are the problems that his or her client maybe have, and then be able to find a way to communicate it effectively enough, your company's solution to those problems. Now, here's the key though. Not what I was looking for in terms of how much I was going to make in terms of a commission. That's where people get it all twisted. It was, can I solve your problem with the least amount of waste? That's the whole goal. And that's what we're doing with this new process. Now, here's the stage. Back in 2015, my current wife, and I like to say it's my last wife, because I got married the second time so that my son would have his future. And so I've always laughed and joked with him that I got married for him twice, and the third time for me and my aging mother. And boy, it has turned out exactly like that. I am the last living sibling of my family. And I'm afraid every day with COVID-19 that I'll soon lose my mother. But I'm prepared for it now. Back in 2015, my current wife almost passed away. And it happened by accident that we even found out. She got sick from probably something I brought through the door from going to people's homes, and she had some hives, and we went to take her to the doctor, and come to find out her blood pressure was so high she could have had a stroke and been gone like that, and we had no idea. That triggered me, because I had already lost one wife. That couldn't happen to me again. But that triggered me, along with all the stuff coming back from war, PTSD, and it took me offline. I'm talking about, I would get so emotional and tear up and cry, and I couldn't control it. I knew something was wrong with me. But I knew what I had been trained to be. I was a lethal machine, killing machine. And I did not want my services being used for the wrong reason or someone to misinterpret because they saw things that were happening with my emotional face of tearing up and took it for granted. It would have been like knocking over a hornet's nest with killer bees in it. And so I went to training and I sought help. And I got it under control. But I became a loner. And I had lost all my confidence. Everything. Just totally like, I like to say it's almost like being in a trance-like state. What I likened it to was specialized training that I received. You get dropped somewhere and you're hurt. You need to be able to hold up and heal up. And that's what I began to do. And I think you needed to hear this piece first, because on my 59th birthday, when I awoke, I knew that I had to get up and do something different. Because what I remembered when I woke, your family is in danger. It's time for you to get up and make something happen. And here's what's going to happen. All that training is not going to do you any good unless you use it. It's time to use it. It's time for you to do what you were born for. Everything else, ups, downs, sideways, was for this one purpose, so that you could learn. The next 12 months, by the time you turn 60, which was August, this past August, you need to be in position so that by the end of the year, you can begin putting your team together. If you build it, they will come. You will have the effect like Johnny Appleseed. Everything you touch, it's going to be like the Midas Man over here in America. The Midas Man, everything he touches turns to gold. You are going to be as loud as Paul Revere. The British were coming during the Revolutionary War here. You are going to be responsible for building a virtual global community where we are as strong as our weakest affiliate and only as strong as our weakest affiliate. Everyone will make money being here. And so let me get into this and move on so we'll understand a little bit more. Alright, LF Biz Consulting. A virtual consulting business. We provide strategic marketing strategies for any business, on or offline. We are a digital software and services reseller globally. We specialize in team building and leadership training concepts, and we have access to literally thousands of products and services. So it is a legitimate business community that we're trying to build, because all of you will have access to all of this. That's how we're going to create 1,000 millionaires, because it's not just based on one company. That's why Noah's Ark was created. Global. We speak different languages. Most of you speak English, but we got Google Translator. There are ways to be able to communicate. I've got video software that can help us do that. Basically, this concept was we all are different, but we all are the same. So here we go. That's why I can't name myself Dr. Fix It Online. Because I want to be able to go at this approach, each and every one of you, be able to develop surveys that can identify exactly what you're currently doing now. Because here's the thing, every person that joins us, because you're already like-minded, you may already be involved in programs. Well, imagine being on a team of 10,000 and they came in under you, because that's part of what we're going to do in this community. We're going to build each other. It's time to make money. So what is Noah's Ark? Now, this is recent information here. According to a 2019 survey, 69% of Americans said they had less than $1,000 in savings. 45% of those, zero. Most were living paycheck to paycheck. And them paychecks have been shut off now. And at the end of this year, there's going to be a lot of hurt and pain coming in January. That's why it became so critical for me to have everything in place. I understand why now is the time to create this team. A virtual global marketing community. Who's it built for? Online, but could be both, on and offline marketing, with some of the software tools and training that I've purchased over this last year. Now, in order for it to work, here's the strategic key. If you join this group, you will agree that if the group zigs, you zig. If the group zags, you zag. You will benefit based on your acceptance to those facts. Now, here's what I mean by that. In the Marine Corps, when I trained my special teams, I would share with them a story that I had heard from someone. And it was real, in combat. And it was an undisciplined unit. And when a person rang out, down, the person said, huh? And the next thing you know, he was a casualty. So I trained my Marines by saying, if I say duck, don't say what? Duck. If I say jump, don't ask how high as you're going up. Do it. If you do it, and all of your fellow affiliates in this community agree to do the same thing, you know that we will be attacking situations, compensation plans with confidence. If you focus on the small things, the big things tend to take care of themselves. So we do all of that, and that's going to give our team economic power. Rules to capture the competitive edge with anything that we do as a team. But only if you want to become one of us will you benefit from that. When I look at a global picture, this is one of the recent newsletters that you may have recently gotten. That day I had 138 opens. You can remember that was, looks like on November the 8th. And so I can see real time how you're responding to what I'm sending. And that's a good thing, because now I can see my global community at a glance. We are going to create 1,000 new millionaires in 36 months or less. It's going to be as simple as 1, 2, 3, but not easy. Here's how we're going to do it. There are 4 groups that you may fall into for proper alignment and placement. And here's how you can look at it. If you have money and you have time to build your own business, that's the best combination. That means you can take advantage of everything they were rolling out, and you can have the resources to figure out whatever you need to be able to build your business. So that's the best position. The second position is if you got more time, more money than time. And then the third position is you got more time than money. So I got groups 1, 2, and 3 that got some deficiencies, and then 4, you got more time, but you got no money. So my thinking is this: if I can marry up groups 1 with group 4, because we hear all of this stuff and see all of this stuff about free. One of my proteges back in the 90s came up with a good slogan, because in the core we used to say freedom ain't free, because we were always going to bad places doing things to liberate people so they would have freedom. Freedom is not free. So think about it this way: freedom or free is nothing more than the false reality that will evidence itself eventually. Okay, let me say that again. False reality evidencing itself eventually, meaning someone other than you have paid a price for you to get whatever it is that you're getting. Now, and so you have to look at and evaluate situations by saying, what is it that I'm getting here? And why is it that I'm getting that? You gotta think about that. What is it that I'm getting here, and why is it that I'm getting it? Often in the marketing arena nowadays, it's a gateway. It's a gateway. So 99.9% of the software and things that I will share with you are going to be gateway. They will be free to sign up, so we can get anybody in position. Now, going back to number 4, it takes money to make money. So what you have to do is try to figure out a way, how can you use your time to build value with that to make money? I'm thinking, because I've had people reach out to me and say over this last year as I've been building, hey, I like that opportunity, but I'm over here in XYZ country and I don't have money. And at first I took offense to it, like saying, hey, this is a home-based business. You gotta bring something to the table. And then I thought about another analogy. Some of us are more blessed than others, and will always be that way. So, which is better? If you're hungry and I'm a fisherman, to just give you a fish today? Well, what's going to happen when you get hungry next time? It's going to be a lot easier to hang around my door if I'm giving fish away. Or is it better that I give you an opportunity and I teach you how to fish so that you can feed yourself for life? That's how I sort of look at that group. I look at group 1, who can be sponsor. And since you don't have time, we're going to train up that person who has time on how to do what it is that we want you to do, and they can be doing theirs at the same time, which is going to generate money for them. That's one, by being in place and then being able to do that. The second thing is going to be part of the strategic mix, is to be able to place them on front lines, and then the other group of people, as they come in, now they got money. Now they can get more resources. Now they can even become more valuable to our group. So it's about saying that we can take somebody from being a zero to bringing them up to being a hero. So everybody's got a shot. But nobody who doesn't have time or doesn't have money can really work with this concept. So for those of you that are given the opportunity to sign up for this new list that you're going to see, expect to work, expect to buy things, because that's how you're going to get yourself into the place that your business is going to pay for you becoming wealthy. All right. So imagine the concept of operations and level of understanding of something like this. We believe in having multiple streams of income. Now, back in the 90s, remember I told you some huge things changed for me. I began to build a network marketing. And I use some of the same principles and some of the same strategies that I'm going to be discussing in greater length, not in this presentation, but when you get over to the other channel. I built a team from one person up to 10,000, and then the company folded. So the second time I made it my goal, my objective, what I envisioned, and I got to start over again. That wiped me out, because I built everything, invested everything, and put into becoming a leader in that organization. I walked away from it for 5 years. I couldn't stomach anything like that no more. And I made a vow to myself that the only time that I would ever get back involved with building someone else's vision and dream, I'd be building mine first. Which means that my loyalty is with me and mine, not these companies. Because they drop us, they drop out, things happen, and we get left hanging the bag. But they have all of these rules about how you can recruit, can't recruit, and all that. So our community is signing up with our community first. And then when we go into an organization and a group, they're going to feel the numbers. And our team begins to make money from the moment that we start signing up. We will manage through our webinars and seminars and concepts and training on here's what we're going to do, here's when we're going to do it, and here's what are the steps for you, and line up everybody before getting there, because we're committed. So we believe that we look for opportunities to make money from doing what we do every day. Typo there. When we join any business opportunity, we do so together. We will be as strong again as our weakest team member, and only as weak as our strongest team member. I would love to identify team members who have skills, I'm overwhelmed. I've got so many good things that can be rolled out that's going to make this happen, but I literally don't have the time in 24 hours, and I don't want to burn out. So if you have skill sets, here's what I want to be able to do within our community. I want to be able to set up teams of people that when we have different problems, and I've got digital software that can solve those problems, but some of the people don't have the technical skill sets to be able to put them together. I want to build our own group so we can outsource within our group. And so for some of those people who don't have any skills but still want to learn, we can teach them with software, and then they can become part of that force that sustains our group. You see what I'm saying? It's just using everything that we can to grow our teams. That's what it's really all about. So I believe we can overcome any obstacle to anyone not being able to earn with our team. If you have money and time, you're good to go. Now, if you have more money than time, we'd like to pair you up with one of our team members who has more time than money. That person can do the time-consuming task for you. If you have more time than money, we would like to pair you up with one of our team members who has more money. Just what I was just sharing with you. So we're going to start out with 5 primary business opportunities to build around. And then on the right side of this, we see where we're going to get you access to basically be able to duplicate the things that I'm sharing with you. You may already be connected with these resources. If you are, that's good. If you aren't, then you're going to do them through our links and our group and all of that. So it'll be a fulfillment center. So this first one, you're going to love. It's AI. And there's a unique opportunity that we'll go through in a minute that'll you'll understand. SFI Strong Future International. Great platform for training and long-term stability and growth. Club Shop. Online purchasing similar to SFI. Different marketing and compensation plan. You're gonna love that. Heart and Body Natural HBN. It for me, part of the PTSD, I was able to start using the hemp-related products, and so I use a smart coffee here with Heart and Body Natural. When you join the team, I'll give you a gift certificate if you want it. That will basically knock off $25 from the purchase price. I believe of a $30 bag, which gives you about 20 days, 25 days of drinking coffee. One of my little things is I like to, as I'm doing these kinds of things that I'm getting ready to be prepared to do, is you to pull up a good cup of coffee because I just bought you a cup of coffee, kind of thing. Marketing. And then GPN. It is going to be a great asset for start to do some of the tools. So we'll start off. But let's take a look at the money first. My ultimate goal, to make any sense of all of this, is my target is always trying to get to $10,000 a month. But what does that mean? So I use a strategy that I learned years ago, reduction to the ridiculous. And here's what I got. How nice would it be if you could earn $10,000 in the next coming year while you're learning? Well, that's only $27.39 a day. Okay, let me say that again. If you average $27.39 every day, starting January 1st to December 31st next year, you just made $10,000. So my next thing was, okay, how about if I made $10,000 a month? Now that's $833 a day. So you see how I set targets for me to be able to not look at the $1 million is where I'm headed. As you can see where I'm going. Okay. So how can I make 10,000? What's my number got to be for 30 days to make 10,000 in 30 days? 10,000 a month. That's going to be one of the first numbers I'm going to be all over. $333. And I want to see how many times in a month I can hit that until I can be hitting that every day. Then I know I'm at 10K a month. Now, that's why I looked at different vehicles, so I'm not having to slave myself, killing myself. I want to use the compounding duplication effect of multiple income streams to help make those numbers happen on an even more rapid pace than one would normally or usually do. So if I get that thing happening for each one of these groups, that's 600,000. And when we start getting into going back to the concept of getting paid to use the things that you do every day, I believe that's going to round up that other 400,000 with the tools that we're going to use, that you're going to be marketing as you're building your teams through members of the community. Unfounders, co-founders. Here's the key with this one. It's a gold mine of residual income for life. You can run your business in full autopilot mode with the following benefits: autopilot advertising, autopilot marketing, autopilot leads, autopilot signups, autopilot recruiting, autopilot team building. And here's the thing: they are going to go public this December, before January 1st. And these are your two options. After they go to the business launch, they're in the pre-launch for a year. I've been involved since probably August, maybe July. And I paid my 97 one time. When they do the business launch, you're going to pay 10 times that. So that's why I'm starting now, so you can start now, so that people you know, that you can get them involved with that now, already in place, so that they can save 10 times the amount. It's about urgency with that one. We'll get into the comp plan later. SFI, Strong Future International. This is a tremendous training, long-term vehicle to be able to teach your people all kinds of stuff. 22, 23-year-old company. We'll go into the comp plan later. Club Shop. I just copied this one, took a screenshot this morning. I got look about 2,000 sitting over there. Yeah, this stuff is for real. This one, they have the first month financing plan that they just came out with about a week ago. We'll go into all these things in detail, but now you understand what do I mean. This is what attracted me to this. Again, I got involved with this around July or so. I was looking for opportunities that had auto things, as many as they could, to help generate leads for me, and it's unbelievable. You really should do this, because, and if you do it with the Bitcoin, that's the way to do this one. With the Bitcoin, that way you can get set up for instant payments as soon as people in your line starts to upgrade. And with our plan, they're going to be doing that immediately. So with this plan, with our team concept, I would do the 249 and have a team of people that's going to do that, and then you'll be able to see what the commissions are. But we'll go through different strategies. But even if you came in at the basic level, just to see it, it's going to blow you away. And then you can always upgrade later to an even higher one. Because I played with it for the 30-day scenario a couple times, and I was just shocked when they kept making it better, kept making it better, and being able to now use the Bitcoin to get you to instant payment. It's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer to me. Heart and Body Natural. 7 ways you can get paid there. Off the chain. So, I as you can see, the kinds of things that I was going after, or things that, okay, these are things that I want to be able to use. That makes my building my business on things that I use. Love it. Got about 4,500 people over there. Tools, email tools, website tools, tracking tools. Basically, Global MPN was it's a one-stop shop for a lot of the tools that anybody who's building an online business can use. I use other tools, and you'll see those as we go forward over there. We'll go into conversation when we go there. So, this is what I was saying. It was like having a baby, and I'm going to get better at this. And I want you to join the team so that you can help me to do this. How about that? I am sincere, but I wanted you to know who I was. And the email newsletters that you're getting now, I'm going to focus that on the traditional marketing stuff, and the way that you can get more information on this stuff is to sign up at this new community, because that is going to be all I'm talking about over there. So I am glad that you listened. If you stayed around, I hope that you start to you immediately go over there and sign up, because now I got to start working on putting the piece together, the links for the opportunities that I've set up for you, so that you can get in place, so that the firstest gets the mostest, and then we'll figure out other strategies from there. So join us today. Let's make it happen, and we're going to create 1,000 millionaires in the next 36 months or less. Do you want to be one of them? That's what you got to ask yourself. So with that being said, I am going to say goodbye and have a great day.